Enjoying secrets of a sugar daddy? How about a little something extra? Here's today's dose of extra sugar with Marcus.
Hey, this is Marcus, and thanks for joining me for some extra sugar. I want to touch on a fun subject, and it's about lying. You know, honesty isn't always the best policy in relationships, and there's a fun article I'm going to touch on to tell you when sometimes the experts say it might be better to lie. You know, you were probably taught to never lie. Your parents likely preached the power of the truth. Your partner told you honesty matters most. But researchers say there is a lot we get wrong about deception, truth-telling, and trust, and that if mastered, lying the right way can actually help build connections, trust, and businesses. Maurice Schweitzer, a professor at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania who studies deception and trust, says, "I believe that we should be teaching our kids, students, and employees when and how to lie. You're more likely to be lied to and told to lie than you even realize. Think of scenarios like your mom reminding you to tell your grandmother you enjoyed her meal, or you giving feedback to a coworker that doesn't capture the whole truth. Still, the art of deception is more nuanced than you might think. So here's 5 scenarios where fibbing might be the best course of action according to experts. There are classic examples of lying being detrimental, and the most damaging kind of lies tend to be those that promote your own self-interest at the expense of others. But pro-social lies, that's fibs intended to benefit others, can actually build trust between people, according to research. According to Emma E. Levine, an assistant professor of behavioral science at the University of Chicago's Booth School of Business, who studies honesty and trust, says people's primary interest, at least when they receive information and build trust, is benevolence. People care about whether you have good intentions a lot more than whether the person is being honest per se. So just remember, lies are most beneficial when they are not selfish. If you tell your partner he or she looks great before a date to boost his or her self-esteem, that's one thing. But saying it just to get your loved one out the door because you're already late is where your motive can veer into selfish territory. Say your partner asks you how he or she looks right before walking on stage for a speaking event, or inquires about what you think of the speech just prior to reaching the podium. Even if you notice a stain on his or her outfit or think the speech could use work, think about whether the person has the time to react to the information and control the situation. If there's nothing your partner can do to improve or make a change in that moment, you might welcome deception. Lying in this sense is likely seen as benefiting the other person because there's truly nothing he or she can do in the moment. Conversely, if your significant other does have the capacity to react to the information, honesty is the better choice. Now, when sharing feedback, honesty is important, and while it's easy to use, "I'm just being honest," as an excuse for just being mean, brutal honesty isn't always the most effective way to get your message across. Instead of telling a low-performing employee that he's performing terribly, consider saying something like, "Well, you've had a rocky start, but everyone struggles at the beginning." Then segue into constructive criticism. Your feedback will likely be received better, which in turn will benefit your business in the long run. The debate over lying is not only about whether honest information can help the situation, but also whether that information is delivered at the right time. One thing people care about is whether honest information will distract them from something important. An example, you hear your friend's company is expecting layoffs right before she leaves for her wedding. Should you tell her? In these situations, people tend to appreciate withholding the truth until later. It comes back to the idea of control. If your friend is about to leave for her wedding or honeymoon, she won't be in a position to preemptively explore other job opportunities. And while every situation is different, consider asking yourself whether honesty in a situation like this would truly benefit the other person or simply be a distraction. Mild and well-intentioned deception can be even more beneficial in distant relationships. In more competitive relationships or first interactions, honesty is a lot more precarious, can damage relationships, and reduce trust. That's because both parties are less familiar with the other person's true intentions, and they might each wonder, is this person trying to undermine me? Still, if you're inclined to give honest feedback to a more distant acquaintance or a friend of a friend, providing the truth coupled with benevolence, something along the lines of, I really want you to do well, so I'm giving you this criticism. Close relationships, on the other hand, can give way to more of an appreciation for honesty, and confessing to friends is likely not as bad as you think. We systematically overestimate how uncomfortable truth-telling will be, Levine says. And a few more things that you can lie about is, one of my favorites is when somebody has told me a joke already, I will act like I've never heard it before and laugh like it's the first time I've heard it. Don't tell them the honest truth that, oh my God, I've already heard this, because they kind of get deflated and they're excited about telling you the joke. Another thing is when somebody sends you a funny meme, don't reply, oh, I've already seen this. Just reply, oh my God, that's so funny. And it will make them feel like they shared something that made your day or made you chuckle. So, is honesty always the best answer? As we find out, sometimes white lies are in their best interest. So thanks for joining me on today's segment, and we'll talk to you soon.
We hope you enjoyed your Extra Sugar with Marcus. As always, visit our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, to comment or tell us your story.